Hi guys, welcome back to the Star Wars figure review. Next video we're going to be looking into one of the figures in the Clone Wars in the Black Series line, and that is this character here, the Pirate Bounty Hunter Cad Bane. Now before we look at him in full, we'll take a look at the packaging this one comes in. This is the standard release version of Cad Bane. There was a exclusive version released as well, but I do not own that figure. I'll just have a quick picture there of what it looks like, courtesy of Jake there, because he has the figure and he showed me it. But this is the regular standard style packaging. That's for this one that comes in the new Black Series style, which is more themed towards each episode. As you can see, this one is based for the Clone Wars, and it is number 6 in the line of Clone Wars figures in the Black Series. So it's the different style that we have here. The one in the packaging is 100% recyclable, and of course on the side here too we have the picture of Cad Bane, which can be used with other figures in the line to create a mural of all the other characters to have in the collection. So that's something there you can get to sort of motivate collecting more of them. Of course, we do have the artwork of Cad Bane on the back here too, and a bio. So if you want to pause the video and read that, you can. There's plenty to see from that. But yeah, it's the brand new packaging. It's obviously it's orange themed for the Clone Wars, as I've given a look at Han Solo in the past, and that's got a green theme for Return of the Jedi. Different episodes have different colour themes for them. Some we've seen already, some we still have yet to even have a look at. We don't have any figures from Revenge of the Sith in this style packaging yet, so we just have to wait and see what comes from that. But this is Cad Bane in his new Black Series form, and I do like this packaging, just with everything that comes with it, and I've been a big fan of it. We now come to the figure himself. So this is the Cad Bane we have, and this is not the first time I'm giving a look at Cad Bane on my channel. I actually did give a look at this figure of Cad Bane. This is a 3.75 Cad Bane figure from the Clone Wars. I gave a look at this one back in 2014, and I will have a link to the description as to where you can watch this one too, as this one's from the Clone Wars line. But it really does feel like an upscaled version of this figure with the added articulation point here. So that just looks cool. Like Hasbro have really just seen what they've got already with this, sculpted it into this. Because usually with Clone Wars they try to make it look live action, but this one looks more live action enough. That wasn't necessarily needed this time, considering he's an alien who probably would have been motion captured into the films if he was brought into live action. We don't know yet whether we may see him in the Book of Boba Fett or even The Mandalorian, we don't know, or any other upcoming Star Wars material to be released over the years. But Cad Bane here is one to own in the collection. Whether you get the exclusive version or the basic standard version, it's just a figure to have. So we're into our accessories. We do get a hat, the cowboy style hat, pirate style hat, which is easily removable. It does tend to come off really easily. It doesn't seem to you sort of fix it into place, but you sort of give it any sort of bump and it does sort of nudge around a fair deal. And this was a problem that that this Cad Bane actually didn't have, because the hat actually had a certain bump underneath, so you'd be able to put it on the right way and it would sort of hold into place. As it is sort of there, it just holds into place easier, whereas the 6-inch one doesn't have that kind of thing, so it just sort of sits on the head and you just sort of have to be careful with it, otherwise it falls off. So it's a bit of an issue, that is, but it's not too much of a biggie. If you're just displaying him, it's not too much of a problem. We also get his dual pistols, which are easily connected in his hands, and you can take these off and they fit nicely into these holsters here on the side, just like that, and the same with the other one. So you can have Cad Bane when he's doing things like his different Clone Wars based missions, if you're displaying him there. Say you've got him with Ventress or someone like that in action, or even with Count Dooku. I've got to give the full Clone Wars series a rewatch soon, but I can't remember too well if Cad Bane did interact with Dooku in the time period. I seem to remember him doing so. I'll just have to look back at that. Of course, as I said, the hat can be easily removed, and you do have the little detail here of this sort of tank thing he has on the back of his head. Can't quite remember what that is, but sort of, I think it's providing oxygen to him or something like that, but that's good. And then of course we have his bag, his basic shoulder bag there, which there's not too much on that, just a little strap detail on that, but it sits nicely around his shoulder. It does move around a little bit too, but that's not too much of a problem. But the whole figure in general is just a great display for any Star Wars fans, like especially since we've had a lack of aliens in the Black Series over the years. It's good to see Hasbro really looking into bringing us some figures of different species that aren't just human, because it's just good to have more of them. And Cad Bane is by all means a good one to start with, good one to include it with. And yeah, I'm pleased to have him. Like I just I feel an issue with the hat, but aside from that, not too bad. Articulation is a ball jointed head, ball hinged shoulders. There's a ball hinged elbows, but they are slightly restricted on this way by the coat marking, but they're okay the other side. We do have a ball jointed waist, which again is a little restricted from the tailcoat and the accessories. Ball hinged hips, so you can do the splits. Swivel thighs. They've kind of done the ball jointed knees less so on recent figures. So these are just these aren't double joints; they're just basic ball jointed knees. And we also get the ball joint rockers at the ankles. So there's a slight downgrade on the articulation there, but everything else is pretty much there, spot on to what we need. So that's also a good fact. But I'm just gonna give a full look down of all the detail that this Cad Bane figure has. Like there's his wrist armour, and just like the little market, like the parts of his lapels and just the things on them, and just the cabling. That's not all sculpted into his arm. That's like separate. That's actually like separate wiring. It's like the Jango Fett figure from the Black series. That's sort of like how the gear on his arm is separate wiring, and just all they've gone into making this figure as good as possible. Like the eyes there as well. The facial sculpt just really works, and everything on this figure. It's a fantastic add to the collection. I was glad to be able to get a hold of him from Star Action Figures, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. I'm just going to put the blasters back in place in his hands, because there can be a bit of a tight squeeze to get in. But I'll just quickly, there we go, so there's one of them in anyway. So they're great to add to the collection, and here comes the other one. Takes a little while. There's ball jointed wrists as well, so you can get you can get all sorts of poses going on with Cad Bane here to what you want. So just something like that. So he stands well as a character from the Clone Wars bounty hunter that he is. His events from the Hostage Crisis, that was like his first actual appearance in Star Wars media, was in the episode Hostage Crisis of the Clone Wars. And then he appeared sporadically throughout the first 5 seasons. I don't remember, he didn't appear in season 7, and I don't recall him appearing in season 6 either. So it was a shame. We could have had more of him, but like I said, there's a likely chance we could get more of him in the Book of Boba Fett or other supplementaries TV shows. And there was of course a story arc that was meant to feature Cad Bane, in which that would have taken place between Yoda's journey and the Bad Batch, and that would have had Cad Bane and Boba Fett on their own mission. So it was a shame we didn't get that, but yeah, we can't get everything unfortunately. But the figure is great enough to add into your collections. You can get this one. You should be able to get the standard one. I'll leave a link to both versions, so you can get the standard or the exclusive in your collections too. If you're one of those die-hard collectors that wants everything to do with the character, Cad Bane would be one of those to get everything for. But yeah, so that is my review of Cad Bane. Just want to give a full rundown of the figure there. You can just see everything that he has. I hope you enjoyed looking at him, and I shall be back with some more reviews after this, so do stay tuned for them. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, leave a comment so you can know when I've done something. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. The links are there in the description below, and I'll see you next time.